Aries, welcome to your Celtic Cross reading. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Let's jump on into it, yeah? What is going on, please, for the Aries Collective? We love the Celtic Cross. It is old school tarot, yeah? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Well, for instance, though, for Reflection, Sag, their stuff was very much interrelated, which, you know, was kind of surprising. But, yeah, sometimes I'll get, I guess you could say, pockets of conversation. Stuff that covers this or that, and then sometimes it all has a bridge. It all leads up to something, you know? Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Show me Aries. Show me that Aries Collective, please. Show me Aries. What's going on? What's going on for Aries, please? What's going on for Aries? Like always, these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave it does not, yeah? Very rarely do we fully 100% resonate. Sometimes none whatsoever, okay? Most of us are somewhere right here in the middle. However, if you are indeed that Aries where nothing's... What are you talking about? Check out the placements. No big deal. Happens all the time. It's a collective reading, yeah? And if you find yourself getting frustrated, okay? What I want you to do, angry, frustrated, whatever, and you're like, it fits, it doesn't fit, I'm getting angry. Separate yourself. Put it on pause. Watch it later. Don't watch it stall. Free will, okay? I just don't want you to get upset, and don't force a message to fit if it doesn't. But if it does, and it kind of pisses you off a little bit, perhaps challenge yourself to stick around, see why. Okay? All right, let's get cracking. Seven of Pentacles. Challenge you, Empress. How do I become more? I need more power. It's like I'm singing Aries. I need more power. I'm not at my highest potential. Interesting. What's above you? Knight of Pentacles. Things are moving too slow. You're frustrated. What's with the frustration? I should be more. I should have accomplished more. What is this? That's interesting. Relevant past. Three of Cups. It used to be so easy. I could bring things together, or you were connecting with a certain somebody. I don't know. What's going on? Exiting. The Hermit. There's something here. You're either getting over something, or you're just not able to heal from it as much as you might have thought. This is interesting. Eight of Swords, some confusion for you in the near future. We've still not worked it out. Your strengths, you're showing me the willingness to fight, or you are fighting yourselves, but you consider it a strength to show restraint when all it really does is make you feel frustrated. What's going on, honey? Talk to me. What's going on? Ace of Cups, in your environment, you want to feel more in your environment. You want to feel so much more. You want to expand so much more. I see the restlessness in you. Hopes and fears. Ten of Swords, is this over or is it not? Is that a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Let's see. Outcome. Queen of Pentacles. I need you to put more of the focus and attention on you. I'm not saying that what's around you isn't important. I just feel like you are caught up in this quagmire where you're starting to lose focus of what matters. And that's a problem, because you're not going to be able to sort through any of this unless you know what matters to you. Okay, what are your priorities? How are you taking care of yourself? Do you understand your sense of self-worth? Your goals, your intentions? Have you gotten off track with them? That's fine. That happens all the time. Some things grow very slowly, but if it's too slow, sometimes we can lose sight of ourselves in the interim. I see that you have elements here of stability that suggests, yeah, all is well, but things are super slow, and I don't feel like I'm achieving my highest potential as the Empress, or you are connected to someone who is not fulfilling the concept of the Empress. We shall see, and it's not an offense, so don't take it as one. It's not a judgment. This is by far the most curious thing. The Hermit here is trying to exit. So you're either saying you're over something, which I disagree with, because you're immediately showing me a sense of frustration. I can't see it. I feel helpless. I don't know about this. Or something here is just not healing, and that's what I'm actually leaning towards. Otherwise, why else would this frustration exist? Yeah? That's the ticket. That's going to tell me a lot right there. Outcome, Queen of Pentacles. I need you to put the focus back on you, honey. I think you are somewhere, for some reason, you are energetically frustrated emotionally. Mentally, you're exhausted. Physically, things... Okay, something's growing, and it's been something that's growing. It's not hyper-accelerated, and it's not completely lost. It's somewhere in the middle where you don't know if there's anything more to achieve in it, or if this is as good as it gets. It is fascinating. It's fascinating. You might have some very strong earth in your chart. It's fascinating, and I'm rooting for you always. Okay, please let me make that clear to you. When you see the difficult cards, that's part of tarot, as it is part of life. Okay, but also do keep in mind it's no judgment on my part. I want you to win. I want you to succeed. I want the Aries I'm looking at to very much get back in touch with you and what's important to you. And that's going to help you decide a lot about what it is that you do. I feel like we have a goal here, and there's a restlessness in you that says, yeah, I had that goal, that thing, and it's not shaping up, or it's not what I thought it was, or this is where I'm actually at, and we're coming to terms with it. Because there's something here saying I just can't see it taking shape anymore. And I don't think I can bring it together in my reality the way I had thought or intended. But that doesn't mean I know what to do or feel about it. Okay, show me that Seven of Pentacles. Let's get cracking. I'm very curious to this. What is this? Now, there's nothing wrong with a slow, steady growth, so long as that's what, it's intended, or that's sometimes where we just need to be in order to achieve our greater goal. But where's your greater goal, honey? That's the thing. That's what I want to know about you. Where's your greater goal? Spirit says you need to take some focus and put it on you. Okay, get reevaluated with you. Reassess yourself, what it is that you want to do, achieve, experience, and why. What gives you calm, comfort, and a sense of security? Because there's something here that says I should be secure, but I don't feel like I am. Remember that Seven of Pentacles, please? Page of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, Libra energy. It doesn't have to be. I don't know why I said that. It doesn't have to be. Somebody's had a very immature point of view about what constitutes growth and personal fulfillment. Okay. What made someone happy on the surface looked so simple and easy to achieve, and now that it's been achieved, it's kind of like, now what? Somebody didn't have higher aims. I don't know what this construction... I need to see this. Empress challenging. Sorry, hold on. What is this, please? What is this? So, what is this? Show me this, Empress, please. Someone is not achieving full emotional growth, or they haven't in a long time. Someone feels emotionally stunted. I am leaning towards you. I feel that you are not emotionally satisfied. I don't think that is. I think that you are in a place where things are home, and they're kind of expected, and they're on a particular pathway, and it hasn't changed in a long time. I also feel that you had set higher standards for yourself, that you had more expectations for yourself. Time passed, and for whatever reason, you're experiencing a particular top out in your sense of stability, foundation, the practicals, the day-to-day. And I believe there's someone in here with you that carried with you a kind of short-sighted vision about what constituted that sense of balance and stability. And there is this thing, time has passed, and we have managed to build so much and achieve so much, and we had very simple aims in starting out in terms of security, growth, and development. And I'm taking a look around now, and I feel like I am grossly emotionally dissatisfied with my own sense of growth, and so you are. That Emperor should not be challenging. This is right up there with the Emperor, your master card, your power card, that says empowerment, empowerment, empowerment. And where you feel the least empowered is your emotional satisfaction, particularly love. Okay. Three of Cups is in the relevant past as well. I know that you can access these feelings, the variety of them, specifically the strength of them. You have a very strong emotional imprint of what emotional mastery should be, emotional empowerment, what that should be, emotional fulfillment, what that should be. And you're like, I can't feel a damn thing. I can't. I have all that in me, or at least that's how I remember myself when I started this thing out so long ago. But I haven't accessed that, the best parts of me, the quality parts of me, in a long time. I feel like I've been looking at this Seven of Pentacles so long, I've lost touch with myself, my goals, my aims, my feelings. I agree. I do. First I wasn't sure. It's like the Empress must be you. So it's like, why are you on the sideways? I'm like, maybe it's someone else, but it's just not. It's you. I know it's you. I know it's you. You have all these lovely, delicious feelings in you of bringing together what brings you joy, personal fulfillment, wish fulfillment, satisfaction, love of thyself. So again, true empowerment suggests I love myself. That's why I'm empowered. Not because you gave it to me or the boss gave me a promotion, because I gave it to me first. And you haven't been in a place where you've been able to give yourself that sense of love. This is what makes me happy in a long time. And I don't know why, but it's kind of like I see you looking around now saying, is this as good as it gets? Because it doesn't feel fucking fair. So I don't know what's going on here, honey, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think you walk down a particular path in the woods and you're like, this is it. I'm going to construct in this area and this road only, and it's going to lead me to great things. I know it. It's going to go to balance, and it's going to be everything. And it went so far. I agree with you. Seven of Pentacles is quite the pickle. It's one of the reasons why I hate it so much, because it's not clear. Seven of Pentacles is never clear. Yeah, something's established. Yeah, the roots grew, but that doesn't mean I've got fruition. That's true. You ever had a plant grow root-wise but have almost nothing to show for it on the top side? This is where we get the concept of stagnation. It grew, but only so far. Will it ever be fruitful? And I feel like you started down a pathway that had promise. And time's gone by, and it doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair. It's not what we thought it was. Something like that. And you don't feel fulfilled at all. You don't feel like in your highest form. You don't feel self-empowered. You don't seem to have emotional access to the bigger parts of you that do exist. Otherwise I wouldn't be seeing it. But you haven't felt it connected to you in a long time. This is how I feel. This is how I rejoice. This is what makes me feel good. This is how I love myself. This is how I love other people. This is how I celebrate. This is how I'm romantic. This is how I am vulnerable. This is how I connect with people. You're saying all that bit has been missing for a long time. But it's down this particular path, it was almost like it was short-sighted. That Page of Swords suggests over time it might have been a short-sighted vision. That we thought at the beginning of it was fair, or that it was correct for us. It was a short-sighted vision over a long period of time. This is fair, this is good, this is correct. Then how come you feel so disconnected from it, and how come you feel so disconnected from you? Let's see that Knight of Pentacles, please. Knight of Pentacles also at the bottom. Waiting, 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 everything. It feels like waiting, waiting, waiting for to feel the joy, to feel the passion, to feel the interest, to feel the... Waiting, waiting, waiting. So long, so long. So that Knight of Pentacles. So that Knight of Pentacles, please, in the hovering. I'm not saying speed is the issue. I'm saying we've traveled down a particular road for a long time. And it made sense for a long time. But now that it's like we're still on that road at a particular speed, and there doesn't seem to be a solid conclusion of success attached to it. And I don't know how to explain that word success, but it's like the impression I'm getting is this as good as it gets? So that Knight of Pentacles, when I should feel so much more. Why don't I feel personally satisfied? That's the question. Show me that Knight of Pentacles, please. Show me that Knight of Pentacles. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Oh. You did have big energy. You did. You felt something sharp. You felt something very sharp. And in many ways you still do. And you want to get to it. This has a very, very, very different speed. Very different. It's not safe. It's not a resume type of energy. It's resume, I put that in quotation. This, in other words, is not standard. There is a not standard energy that is very much with you, and it is a soul bond. It is so far out of the fucking package. It's way beyond that. That whatever that is, that connection to you, it's wild. It's exciting. It lifts you. It fills you with joy. It almost punches you spiritually. Right in the chest. Like it hits. Okay. It's with you here spiritually, and even in terms of passion. The speed on this is completely different than whatever it is that you're coming from. This background of this is what I chose, And it made sense at the time. It was sensible. This is what we call more like that resume energy. It seemed like I had standard or reasonable expectations walking down this particular path. This is what it would lead me to. This is what it would look like. And those resumes, honey, can be misleading. Oh no, it looks straightforward, almost transactional. I can pick this and I have a pretty good idea of how it's going to be. And then we're wrong because we weren't really listening to ourselves, but it looked straightforward at the time. And you're telling me, fast forward, Christina, I'm an empress that's been knocked sideways. I don't feel self-empowered because I don't feel personally satisfied. I know I could personally feel satisfied. I've felt it before. But now in this situation, on this very narrow path, I have not felt satisfied for a long time. I feel disconnected from me and what I want and what I feel. I don't feel productive in my heart. I don't feel productive in my emotions. I feel emotionally stunted. But the fact that you say that you understood what it used to be like to be an empress, it tells me you're familiar with the feeling. And then I have something that's hovering that influences you. This is a very strong connection. It influences you a great deal. I don't know that you're tied to it in the 3D, but you are, if you can believe it, headed in that direction. It's just really slow. And this has a very different speed to it. Very different. I got a 6 of Cups, soul bond, the star, dreams, hopes, wishes, wants, desires, far-reaching consequences that are realistic, at least in a connection here. In other words, this person has long-term consequences attached to it, and you are also attached to it. Perhaps you cannot see how this will influence you later down the road because he's moving so slow, and he's been rocking that 7 of Pentacles, right? And unchanged foundational energy that started out a certain way, and it was kind of a short-sighted vision. We really thought it would lead us to comprehension and balance and all is well, kumbaya, and it hasn't. It's left us emotionally void and restless, not feeling in tune with our true selves. But what's hovering around you is something that moves at a very different speed. It's very fluid, and it takes almost no work. I mean, that's a no-work type situation. What I mean by that is that the connection is flawless. It in terms of here. It makes you feel things without trying. So therefore, it's going to have a very different speed. This is going to move like water, or it can move like fire. But it's over a very pentacle, slow situation. No matter how slow, this is where you would actually like to be. Your reality is different. So I don't know who this is to you, but it's beautiful. It's like a dream within a dream. All is but a dream within a dream. And goodness me, it's someone of the past, possibly the 6 of Cups. A soul connection that we have very strong energy for, a particular passion for, and a particular sensitivity for in terms of desires and hopes and visions. That's very strong. And it influences you. Even if you're not in contact with it, it influences you. I'm sorry it's so vague, but there's much to be learned from this. There's much to be felt from this. This requires no effort in terms of, I have to make myself feel something. No, you don't have to make yourself feel a damn thing. It's with you all the time. And that's the best kind. It's the best kind. Let's take a, I'm very, yeah, could be a little hottie. Something that we moved away from. Okay, hold on. Show me that 3 of Cups, please, in the relevant past. Show me that 3 of Cups in the relevant past. You knew, I know, I'm telling you, I'm looking at Aries, you knew how to bring your emotions together. Celebrate, be easy, open up to life, light, and joy. I know. But you're like, I've lost touch with that particular concept, Christina. I've lost touch with how to make myself happy. Show me that 3 of Cups, please, in the relevant past. Show me that 3 of Cups, please. Show me that 3 of Cups, please. Yeah, slowly but surely, this is the truth of where you actually want to head. It's just so damn slow. I mean, again, whatever this is, if you're not fully aware of it, you're going to move towards what you really want at a very slow pace. The Hanged Man, 6 of Swords, the 5 of Wands. It's At some point you stalled and fought yourself about what it is you really wanted to emotionally connect with. This happened in your relevant past. In your relevant past, that Three of Cups, that ease when you used to or be able to feel how to emotionally connect with yourself. How to feel like the Empress. At some point on your timeline, you started to fight yourself on it. I can't have this, or this, I feel good, this makes me feel good, I got to move away from it. You know, we stalled it. And we fought ourselves on it. The Hanged Man, 5 of Wands, 6 of Swords. It's like, no, I can't. I'm going to argue with myself about what to connect with and why, and who to connect with and why. And it's you literally talking yourself out of connecting in your heart space the way you want. And to this day, you're showing me dissatisfaction with having done that. He said, I haven't felt like me in a long time. I don't even remember if I know what it's like to feel like it's to be me, to be empowered, to allow myself to feel what I want for whom I want. And I can kind of see how you ended up where you are, if that's true. It's, at some point, you stalled, delayed, or just flat out refused to allow yourself to connect in the way that you wanted. There was resistance every step of the way. Now, where that resistance coming from, what the motivation is, but I don't know. Now, you had your reasons. I just know that those reasons have affected and caught up to you. In respect of, I haven't felt like me in a long time. I haven't been able to bring me joy and happiness in a long time. I've always felt I had to reject it or push it away or make me second or last, and I don't know why. It's like, it must be done. You said it must be done. It must be done. I can't argue with that. I don't know who the hell in their right mind would want to argue with that. I can't argue with, who can argue with that? You know, like Aries says, it must be done. I can't connect with this the way I want. And so it caused the disconnect in you, where you don't feel like you're as empowered as you should be, or that you have gotten as far as you feel you should have gone. Not all is lost. Nevertheless, there's the part of you, no matter how fucking slow. It depends on how ingratiated you are in this current situation. The more you continue to say, I have to be on this path that looks like it's stunted and non-productive, and it's not what you thought it was, and the more it displeases you, but you're like, I have to put up with it, the slower that Knight of Pentacles is going to get. Nevertheless, I must insist. You are still moving in the direction, even if it's a step a day. Fascinating. I wonder if your steps will ever catch up with you. That's what I want for you. It's flawless. It's but what I mean by flawless is that it's effortless. Okay, it's that energetic connection where you don't have to make it work on the inside. It just does. It works of its own mechanics. That's what a good fit soul bond is. It defies logic, reasoning, or explanation. It's an innate feeling that you have instant connectivity with someone. It's that moment where you meet someone for the first time, but you feel like you've always known them. Or you cross paths and you're like, I know I was supposed to meet you today. It's a rare feeling, but it's a beautiful one. Now, don't get me wrong, we have many soulmates. Some of them are family and friends, and we've known them all our lives. So we can take the feeling for granted. And we forget with that spontaneous, and you just met somebody for the first time, and you're an older person, you're an adult. So if all your soulmates were already in your life from a very young age, you may not have experienced it when you met someone later, when you're like, and that's when it happens. There's something just different. Anyway, that's what that is. It's effortless. It's effortless connectivity. It feels right. Let me see this Hermit exiting, please. There are some parts of you that are exiting the Hermit-wise because it's like, I can't heal this. I can't heal it. I can't. And you're right. When you try to force yourself to consolidate something that cannot be consolidated, the Hermit can't do his job because it's not his to do. You can't force yourself to be at peace with something that you're not at peace with. It's just, you can't. You just can't, you know? There's just some things you cannot, as much as I got to get this shit together, man. I got to consolidate it, reconcile it, get over it, Aries, get over it. Sometimes that works and sometimes it don't. And the Hermit's like, I'm kind of giving up on this. I keep trying to tell myself to reconcile myself to something and it ain't happening. So he's trying to exit because he's like, man, the Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, the World. Oh, damn. We cannot get over this idea of potentially having missed an opportunity. Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, the World. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's kind of like saying the Hermit's like, fuck this. You keep telling me to get over this missed opportunity, and I can't. He's almost like he's upset. He's like, you keep telling me to heal myself over this missed opportunity, and I can't. You keep forcing me. You keep trying me. You keep trying to poke and prod me to be at peace with it. I'm not at peace with it. And the Hermit kicks back. That's interesting. Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, the World is kind of like the Hermit here is saying he's exiting. I cannot heal this. I cannot consolidate this. We missed something here, and you want me to be okay with it. You're telling yourself, Aries, I need you to be okay with this. And you're like, but I'm not okay with this. I've tried to reconcile myself to this particular fact. So I don't know what that Ace of Pentacles is to you. It could be work. It could be something else more personal. I don't know. It was a real opportunity and was even communicated as well with the Eight of Wands. Here's a real opportunity. Okay, so I don't know what that was. I don't know how missed it was, the opportunity to make something real, viable, buildable, with the best intentions, with the most sincere best intentions. There was opportunity here to plant that pentacle, to communicate it, to work towards it, to express it, and it got cycled out. Okay, and it's like you've been trying to tell yourself to get over it ever since, and you just can't. It's another representation of something possibly like this, where you're like, I really want to feel these good things, but no, I'm gonna stall. I want to move away from it. I'm gonna fight myself on it. And it's that very thing that's led up to your Empress not feeling like an Empress. I don't know if that's but one more concept of that in a different fashion, if it's related. Show me the Eight of Swords, please, in the near future. I don't want any more confusion for you, honey. I don't want any more. That's what I'm saying. You need to take care of you. We need to have some time out here. Okay. We need time alone to reassess ourselves and our values, our sense of worth, and not just forcing ourselves to get over things and to accept them. It's not working. It's not working for you. I know you want it to. It would be easier, right? But it's not. Seven of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the Lovers. God dang it. I knew it. I knew it. It was a love type thing. It was... Whew, well, okay. It still confuses you to this day. You wanted to choose it. It was there. All I can do is read the energies, honey. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. It's not a judgment. I'm frustrated for you. I'm frustrated for you. But it's easy for me to say, this is what I would love for you to do, Aries. And then there's real life. Okay. I would tell you to choose that. I would personally tell you to choose that so it can choose you back. No, you'll never be lonely again. You'll never be hurt again. I'm assuming. I don't know what your particular pathway was when you started out on it. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. That's fine. Things grow slowly, but over time, we kind of had a failure to see it's not what we wanted. And it's, I say failure because of the Page of Swords. He's just, there's parts of him that just don't want to understand that time has passed and it's not what we thought it would be. We tell ourselves it's fair and it's balanced, and it's not fair and it's balanced. The only reason why I'm saying that, not because of how small or slow it is. It has nothing to do with how small or slow. The reason why I'm saying it's not balanced after all this time is because you are unhappy. That's why. Speed has nothing to do with it. Monetary value has nothing to do with it. Dollar signs and how much wealth and how many cars in the garage has fuck all to do with it. The measure of success here is, do you feel empowered? The answer is either yes or it's no. You are either allowed to access your feelings and therefore the best parts of you, so you can live your highest good, your highest, best emotional, fully functioning self, or you're not. And the Aries I'm looking at says you're not, but that it's also your responsibility to reject anything that might make you happy. In fact, you've made it a habit. At least with one area. At least with one. And it was the area that might well be the strongest connected to you. I know you are telling yourself to get over this. It can't be done. And I believe that you can actually make that happen. You got a little history of rejecting stuff that makes you happy. For the sake of what? A Seven of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Page of Swords, Justice. It seems fair because you've been on that path for a long time. So the way things added up is the way things added up. Yeah. If you've been reading the same book for 10 years, it's going to seem fair because you've already read the ending many, many times. So you know that it's fair because you already know what the ending is. It's like you haven't read a different book in a long time. But it's also like it never occurred to me that I could get a different book off the shelf. I go to the library, check out some new books. Yeah, it's going to seem fair to you. It's like it's the only book you've been reading for years. There's a whole other book out there for you, baby. There's a big goddamn book out there. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to, but it's like that's the severity of it. It's like you're showing me black and white principles. It has to be this way because I decided on it, many years ago. I decided to have this bookshelf and there's going to be one book on it. And it's like a point of view, Page of Swords that hasn't changed in years. And you think it's fair. At your cost. You think it's fair. At your cost to your personhood and sense of self-empowerment, you think it's fair. You think it's fair because you keep reading the same damn book, so therefore you know what it's going to say. Of course you think it's fair. You haven't looked at any other books. So that's why that hermit, he's like, fuck this, I'm out. I very rarely see him do that. There's very little he can't work through. There's just some things you cannot. I know you're telling yourself to get over it, but that's not healing, honey. It's not. Acceptance, maybe. I missed out on an opportunity, or I couldn't take that opportunity when I had it, or when it was. I don't know. Somebody here verbally communicated. Okay. Sincerity, offer, effort. Bleh, whatever that looked like. And then world. And we've been telling ourselves to get over it ever since. It's not going to work. It meant too much to you. It meant too much to you. It hit you in a deep place. I know you're used to rejecting small things that give you joy. I can see that you're used to it, back of hand. And there's some things that you reject that give you joy, and it pisses you off. And it should. But you seem to equate it with sacrifice. Sacrifice of happiness. And look what all those little sacrifices of happiness have led you to, is an empress who doesn't feel like an empress, who personally isn't happy, who doesn't feel vulnerable, who doesn't feel like she's self-satisfying or self-willing, or has wish fulfillment at all. She's like, I have no choice. I have no wish fulfillment. And it's like you don't even question rejecting things that make you happy. Some of them frustrate you, some of them piss you off. Like you're the one that's expected to give in certain situations. I don't know why. It's but you're supposed to sacrifice things that you want to do or make you happy, and you just got used to it. But this one was just too sizable. It was too big, and I can kind of see why. I believe it's connected to this, which of course is just another version of this. It's almost like a hyperactive. You've got off the charts connectivity with somebody, and you're still saying it confuses me. It confuses you because you haven't had room or gave yourself room to explore it. Okay? It's easier to not see it or feel it. That's why you've been trying to tell yourself, get over it, Aries, get over it. Okay. It really is strongly bonded to you in both reality and I believe emotionally and spiritually. It's all here. I told you this type of connection. You put almost, not saying not connect it in the 3D, I mean work. Like you ever had to work to not be pissed off with somebody? You ever had work, like I have to work really hard to remember that I don't hate you and that I love you. You ever, that's what I'm saying, that person, that friend, that family member, this person, that connection with them is non-work. It just is. This is as is from the universe. It requires no work, but it is a challenge. It's a challenge because it's not the pathway you started on, and it's like it didn't occur to you could read another book. You got so used to rejecting things and fighting things off and just kind of swallowing the pride and the pressure and the hate, and not hate, but yeah. Let me guess. I have to give up what I want to do, right? I didn't see that one coming, right? I don't mean to be cynical, but it's just you're so used to doing it. It's with you. I told you, no matter how slowly, it's still a particular step in that direction, and it's that direction still with you. Now, I don't think it got past the option phase. In other words, you know it exists. It's with you. It's an instant connection, okay? But it only went so far in terms of emotional discovery, and it means awareness of one's emotions, one that you say you still can't see. Perhaps you cannot see it because that implies emotional awareness, but you sure as fuck feel it. You feel it. Even if you never gave yourself the room to say or understand these are my feelings, or I acknowledge them, lack of acknowledgement, keeping things fuzzy and confusing, you sure as hell felt it many times, and you still do. It's going to be connected with you forever, okay? And it's not to hurt you, it's not to upset you, it's to tell you, hey, this is for you. We're presenting this to you not to hurt you, but because it's for you. We're not trying to tempt you with 20 or 30 other novels. We just want you to look at this particular novel. I know you said way back when that this was the right path for you, and we know you meant it. But it's kind of like, maybe it just looked really safe at the time. But you telling yourself it's fair and that it's right when you know it's not, that's the real unfairness. You're being unfair to yourself. We're not meant to live life to be this rejecting of ourselves, to be this frustrated with ourselves, to be this cut up. That's not what, we're not here to exist for that. We're here to discover who we really are, what is actually right for us, and what the hell are we going to do about it. It's not about mistakes, guys. It's about what can I do from this point forward. And I can tell you one thing that's not working. You telling yourself to get over this isn't working. That's not a step forward. He's trying to exit. He doesn't want that job. The Hermit don't want this job. He's not trying to make this situation okay for you because he's not okay with it. The bigger parts of you that want to heal are not okay with this. Bless you, you're used to it, but this was too big. Let's keep, it's still with you. I'm not seeing 3D activity. However, the King of Pentacles is here, and he's kind of practically trying to do something with it. Okay, so hopefully it's more of a depth of discovery feelings here. And instead of being like, get over it, I think we're trying to switch modalities and say, okay, try to understand it, because it's still with us, right? The Hermit, when he's walking out on a job, what the hell? You know, it's like, let's trust that. He's rejecting. He's like, I reject this job. I'm not going to help you get over that. You deal with it. So it's almost like he's throwing it back at you. And that's true. If you really want to heal, you have to understand your feelings. You do. You have to. Otherwise, what the hell are you healing? Okay, it's like throwing darts in the ocean. It just doesn't make sense, you know? You have to know what your feelings are to even target them, to heal them to begin with. So that means a willingness to discover those feelings instead of being like, I felt something, but I'm not going to say what. I felt something, but I ain't saying shit. You can't get me on record. That's not going to work. The connection's very, very strong. 5 of Wands. Okay, we're going to switch it up now. 5 of Wands in your strengths. Oh, I know. I believe you. It's in your relevant past. It makes me happy. I'm going to fight that shit. I know it's in your strength. I told you it was back of hand. I don't just make this shit up, guys. It's in your strengths. I know you got used to denying. I know. That's why your outcome is, Aries, honey. You need to look at you. Okay. 5 of Wands. So I don't know what that situation is. I don't know. It is what it is. It's whatever pathway you're on that looked calm, stable at the time. And to this day, you tell yourself it's fair, practically speaking. Okay? Even though you're emotionally not getting much from it and you don't feel empowered by it or supported. Okay, show me that 5 of Wands, please. Your strengths, your strengths, your strengths, your strengths. Show me that 5 of Wands. Imagine if you stood up for yourself and what you wanted instead of fighting yourself and saying, no, I don't. Oh boy. Would you be an Aries to contend with, yeah? I feel like Aries is a minor placement for whoever it is I'm looking at today. I'm talking tic-tac. Possibly even point to full role reversal. I don't quite know. It's different. 5 of Wands, please. I don't know. It's not an insult, so don't take it as one. The Hermit, it's just an observation. 7 of Swords, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't want to heal this. He doesn't want the role on this. He doesn't want the responsibility of it. I know you got a foundation. I saw it from the beginning. And it could be very successful in terms of monetary. That doesn't mean you're any more emotionally connected to it. Sorry. That's truth. You sitting there looking at it and saying, is this as good as it gets? Yeah, it's fair, but that's because you started down that pathway a long time ago and you saw it through and you're still seeing it through, but that doesn't mean it's any more emotionally connected to you or that it's any more of what you wanted. Okay? The Hermit, 7 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, whatever this foundation is to you, you keep telling yourself, I gotta stick to it, but you don't actually want to be in it so much. There's no pretty way of saying it. The 7 of Swords isn't pretty. The 5 of Swords isn't pretty. It's the reality for the Aries. I'm looking at it. I know you keep telling yourself to stick to it, stick to it. The Hermit's tired of trying to make this foundation more than it is. Very tired. You don't have an emotional attachment to this. Yeah, I'm going to keep fighting for it and fighting myself. I know you got a foundation here. I don't know how long it's been running. But it's kind of like you're tired of trying to put more into it and feel more for it than you do. It's no wonder he's tired. It's no wonder he can't consolidate this. He's been dealing with this for I don't know how long. Telling himself that there's more. Stay in it. There's more. Stay in it. And, that's you telling yourself stay in place. And the Hermit's like, oh, I gotta clock into this job again, huh? Okay. You are quite the fighter, my friend. But Aries, surprised? No, not at all. You're gonna be so stubborn. So pig-headed. You and Taurus have that in common. It's not an insult. It is what it is. All signs have pros and cons, and many have commonalities. So you and Taurus very much have that in common, is that stubbornness. And when the Emperor sets his will to something, oh boy, you also have a very strong, compassionate side in you. You do. You have a very strong understanding in you. But the understanding you need to show yourself the most is what you show yourself the least. You use your form of compassion and understanding to say, stay in it one more day. Stay in it one more day. Stay in it one more day. Fight off anything else that doesn't look like the thing you're in. You'll be okay. So you've been showing yourself compassion and understanding in the wrong ways. And so the real authentic parts of you are spilling out in other areas. It's trying to gravitate more towards what's right for you instead of being stuck to what isn't right for you. It's not helping you achieve your higher self. That's all I know. And it sure as hell, I know you know what it's like, honey, to rejoice, to love, and to be loved, but specifically to love yourself. I know you know what it's like. I know it's a muscle memory. This kind of emotion is muscle memory from the heart. I know you remember what it's like, but you haven't felt like that in a long time. She's supposed to be productive. You haven't had a productive heart space toward yourself in a long time. Keep cracking. Ace of Cups is in your environment. Do you want to open up to new love? Do you want to have the fullness of a heart again? Show me that Ace of Cups, please. Show me that Ace of Cups. Show me that Ace of Cups. Show me that Ace of Cups. Oh boy, this is going to be super popular with Aries. Yeah, I'm 45 minutes deep. There's no going back. Show me that Ace of Cups, please. Sorry, guys. Like I said, if it's upsetting you, separate yourself from it. Watch it later. Don't watch it stall. Okay? I appreciate the support, regardless, but I don't want you to just don't. I don't want you to upset yourself. Okay? Two of Wands, Three of Wands. You've been waiting for a shake-up for a long time. I don't care what you've been telling yourself. You've been wanting to be emotionally rescued for a long time. You have been waiting for love to crash on you for a long time, and it showed up. I don't care. You can argue with me. I don't care. I mean, I do care. Al's monitoring. Let's say hello. Hi, Al. So again, it's not meant to be an offense. It's not meant to be a challenge. I'm just looking at a Aries here. Again, it's either true or it's not. I did not just fucking hear that. No way. Was that Foreigner? I've been waiting for... Where did that is... waiting for a girl like you. Anyway, I see you've been waiting a long time for love to crash on you, to almost save you from all this. And you still are. You want love to crash on you hard. You want it. You do. Emotionally, in your heart, and spiritually. It's almost like you want love to crash on you so hard that you have no choice but to succumb to it and start a brand new life. It did. You said you couldn't see it. Talked yourself out of it. Even though you're so fine-tuned with it. It so stretches out such as infinity before my eyes that you felt it without having to acknowledge it. That's how smooth it was. It's like one of those very modern cars that when you turn it over, it makes no sound. That's what this kind of connection is. When it introduced itself to you, it made no sound. It's like the smoothest ride ever. That's how finessed it is. But we won't acknowledge it. And we cannot fix what we do not acknowledge. You cannot have what you do not acknowledge. That's what this is. And he's been trying to reconcile it ever since, and he's given up on the job. He can't. He won't. He doesn't want to try. He said, it's too big. I can't bring myself to get over that. And over here in the Ace of Cups in your environment, Two of Wands, Three of Wands, waiting, double waiting. Tower. I want something to happen. You're saying energetically I want it to happen. I want love to crash on me so hard I'm helpless. To be swept away in the ocean of it. That I don't have a choice. You do have a choice. This is what we talk about all the time, by the way. About you want what you want, but when the universe presents it, that doesn't mean you're ready for it. Okay? You might have desired strongly love for a long time, but if you weren't mentally ready for it or to acknowledge it, we're going to push it away. And I see an Aries who is very capable of pushing away what they want because they say it's fair. Show me that Ten of Swords, please. Hopes and fears. To end or to not end. Should I be happy about this? Should I want an ending? Let's talk about it. It's real tarot, honey. Real tarot. Show me that Ten of Swords, please. Show me that Ten of Swords. Show me that Ten of Swords. It's almost like You want that love to be so strong it washes away this, I don't really want to put any more of myself emotionally into this foundation. I'm tired of the resistance. I'm tired of the resistance to myself. I want love to be so strong that it washes away any concept of me continuing to contribute to the resume or whatever that pathway was. I want it to be so strong that I can't help but go to the bookshelf and pick out that book because it's slapping me in the face. I had, or you had, a love connection slap me in the face really hard, energetically speaking. That ride was smooth as hell. Perhaps it was too smooth. I don't know. Perhaps that's why you couldn't see it for what it was, rather than point feel it for what it was. Because it did. Well, energetically, it smacked you pretty damn hard. Even though it was very gentle smacking. Show me that Ten of Swords, please. Justice. There it is again, that shit. The Wheel of Fortune. Couple different thoughts here. I got... Is it fair? What are you going to do, honey? I don't know. Is it fair? You thought this was fair. Is it fair here? Which situation? Which situation is fair? Which situation is actually fair? Which situation is it? Which one should you be rooting for? The one you've been on? That takes us away from you and you allow it? Or the one that you are so easily connected to? Time is attached to both. Let's see that Queen of Pentacles, please, in the outcome. Let's see what you do. Show me that outcome, please. Show me that Queen of Pentacles. Show me that Queen of Pentacles. Which one should you root for? Which one should you aim for? To whom should you release your arrows in the sky? High Priestess, the Knight of Wands, Strength. Yeah, intuitively you feel exhausted. I agree. I agree. I know it's probably not the conclusion that you want, but that's not why we're here. Intuitively you feel exhausted, and so you are. You don't know. Inner hopes and fears. You don't know which situation you should be rooting for, which one will actually bring you peace, love, and sense of fulfillment. Which one should you hope to conclude? Which one should you hope to balance? You don't know. You equate it with fear, sacrifice, fear of sacrifice. You don't know. And you're not gonna know until you give yourself some distance and time for you. You need to get in touch with you, with your love of yourself first. Okay? Even if you can't feel personal joy and sense of personal fulfillment, you can still understand your sense of self-worth. What are you worth to you? Okay? Is it your worth? Is it your personal worth to be in a situation that you say is fair just because time has passed and you already see the logical conclusion of it, even though you have to suppress your own sense of emotional well-being? Or is it fair to you to stop showing resistance to your own sense of self-worth, quality, and care so you can choose what's right for you? You need to take some time for you. You haven't sorted this out. It's going to take a minute. Either way, you cannot make any good decisions from a place of exhaustion and having lost sight of who you really are and what it is that you always meant to be about. Love of thyself first, and then you will understand better where love of outside of you is meant to settle. I don't know what the hell that Seven of Pentacles situation is. It's slow growing. You say it's fair. You got used to denying certain things about you. The emotional productivity, sense of fulfillment's not there. It's kind of like this is as good as it gets. I'm so used to fighting off what makes me happy. We lost an opportunity here as one of those many reflections. Something that we so easily connect with. This is my biggest clue by far, that whatever it is that you are currently founded in, you keep hauling yourself back to those particular pages, saying, look at the pages again, read the pages again, Aries, read the pages again, make yourself like them again, make yourself love those pages again. Make yourself love the pages again. And you have to haul yourself by your own hair and ear to do it. You know that? Being pulled by the ear? That old-fashioned thing? You haul yourself in by the ear, make yourself deal with that foundation again, and you don't want to keep dealing with it. Not spiritually, hell no. No. But you're also saying you're not ready to make a decision on what constitutes fair. I agree, actually. You need some time for you. Stop trying to talk yourself in of things and stop trying to talk yourself out of things. Just allow yourself to feel. Get reacquainted with you, what your self-worth is, and is it fair to you to keep rereading the same chapters, knowing you're going to get the same results, and telling yourself to be glad about it, or are you going to take that book, a new one, it's not quite so new, that book feels right, right? You've rubbed your hand along the, I don't have a book here, but like say for instance, you saw that book on that shelf, right? And it calls to you. It's like, and you put your hand on that spine, and you're like, I don't know if I dare pick up that book. But it feels like it might be my book, though. I want to take that book off the shelf and maybe, nope, that stays right there. That book I've been reading for years, yeah, I know exactly what it's going to say. Okay, we're going to keep I don't know where you're going to be. You have to figure that out for yourself. But more to the point, you have to feel it for yourself. I'm going by what I see for you energetically. Okay. And this isn't good, especially if you're forcing yourself to turn back around and deal with the foundation that you can't really feel yourself anymore, but you keep doing it. I feel like your hermit's been put to use in many different ways, none of which you intended. Okay. Forcing yourself to get over things and accept others, and none of those are a true representation of you. That's why you are being advised, get back in touch with you. And you will understand what book you want to read in future. The known or the unknown? Exactly. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. Reveal what needs to be seen. Okay. Yeah, reveal what needs to be seen. If you really want to fix it, you got to know that you have those feelings at all and acknowledge them. They're there. They're strong as hell. But you have to know it first. And then you start making progress. But reveal what needs to be seen within you, what you're experiencing, what you have been experiencing realistically. Time to get out of the shadows, yeah? Some of you might have some very minute placements in Scorpio. I'm talking tic-tac. Pluto, maybe Uranus. Okay. I of course could be seeing the representation of Pluto, even though it's technically the moon. I see my mind's eye is Pluto. Some of you might have Scorpio Pluto. I don't know why that just hit me. Okay. All right. I do hope this helped you. I'm sorry it's non-conclusive, but that's real tarot, and that's because you have yet to really do the work that you need to do to take care of yourself first and foremost. Okay. And hopefully we'll see more for you as we go along. I will see you at the Sunday Shuffle. And then, of course, at your next full length will be approximately 2 weeks. Aries, honey, take care. Be well.